The American public have generally approved of President Biden's handling of the war, but soaring gas prices and persistent inflation have created major problems for the president and his party as they head into the midterms. We're going to ask White House Chief of Staff Ron Klain about those challenges after this report from Chief Washington correspondent Karl.
This is a moment of consequence and peril for the world and pain at the pump for American families.
For President Biden, the outlook is pretty grim. War abroad, anxiety at home, and inflation at its highest level in 40 years. Biden's message to Americans struggling with rising prices for food, for gas, and just about everything else, he feels it too. He understands your pain.
I grew up in a family like many of you, where the price of a gallon of gasoline went up, it was discussion at the kitchen table.
Those words echo the message of the last Democratic president who faced the toxic mix of unrest abroad and high inflation, Jimmy Carter.
I promised you a president who is not isolated from the people, who feels your pain and who shares your dreams.
Now it's Biden feeling the malaise, his own crisis of confidence. Tapping into the Strategic Petroleum Reserve as he did this week might help, but it won't make that much of a difference. He's pointing the finger at Vladimir Putin for high gas prices.
Our prices are rising because of Putin's action. There isn't enough supply. And the bottom line is, if we want lower gas prices, we need to have a more oil supply right now.
Biden has called it a Putin price hike, but most Americans aren't buying it. And the fact is, gas prices were on the rise before Russia invaded Ukraine. The national average is now $4.22 a gallon. That's up 60 cents since the war began, but up $1.34 from a year ago. Presidents usually see a bump in approval ratings during a time of crisis. But Biden is now at new lows, his overall approval rating at 36% in a new Quinnipiac poll. Just 1 in 3 approve of how he is handling the economy. There is good news out there. The economy added 431,000 jobs in March, and the unemployment rate fell to 3.6%.
Even though we created a record number of jobs, I know, that this job is not finished. We need to do more to get prices under control.
Biden got some other significant good news this week. He has the votes to confirm Ketanji Brown Jackson to the Supreme Court, and it will be a bipartisan vote, but by the narrowest of margins. Other than Susan Collins, no other Republican has come forward to say they'll vote yes. But voter anxiety is about more than rising prices or Russia's war in Ukraine. Violent crime in American cities remains persistently high, and there is a growing problem at the border. A record 1.7 million undocumented immigrants were apprehended last year. The numbers so far this year are dramatically higher. And this week, the CDC announced that the Trump-era rule of expelling undocumented immigrants because of COVID concerns will end in May, a decision criticized by Arizona's 2 Democratic senators, both now predicting a huge influx of undocumented immigrants as a result. All that voter anxiety adds up to Democratic anxiety and fears of a brutal environment for the president's party going into the midterm elections this fall. Karl, ABC News, Washington.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.